Assalamualaikum my dear students. Hello, how are you all? Hope you are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NIP's Home School, and this is Ariful Islam, Assistant Teacher of English, National Identity English Version School, Morning Shift. Dear students, today I am going to take Bangladesh and Global Studies class for class 8 students. Of today's topic, Unit 2, Lesson 9 and 11 discussions. Chapter 2, Lesson 9 and 11. So let's see our today's class, today's date, term Haveli, class 8, subject Global Studies, topic Chapter 2, Lesson 9 and 11 discussions. Lecture 6, SWB 5, Teacher Ariful Islam, and this is my mobile number. As you can see, dear students, so today's class 8, Chapter 2, Lesson 9 and 11 discussions, Haveli exam lecture 6, SW5, this will be SW5, Chapter 2, Lesson 9 to 11, make 10 OWA, one word answer. So Lesson 9, final war under the command of joint force. So liberation war was conducted sector-wise by Mujibnagar government. As a result of this, our freedom fighters could face the attacks of Pakistani forces with courage from the month of May 1971. So trained guerrilla fighters entered the country from June, and so they entered the country June, and they started heavy attacks upon the Pakistani forces. At this, Pakistani soldiers became defensive. Indian forces began to hold freedom command of joint of fighters in the war field from the middle of November. So Indian forces started to hold middle of November. On 13th November, 2 battalions of Indian soldiers built bases with tanks at Joshua. So this is important. Bangladesh and the Indian government formed a joint command on 21st November with a view to launching a stronger attack upon Pakistani forces. Indian forces that held freedom fighters during liberation war were called Mitra Bahini, very important, Mitra Bahini or allied force. Indian recognized Bangladesh as a sovereign country on 6th December, very important. Joint force entered Joshua the next day when Joshua airport was occupied. During the next 2 days, on 8 and 9 December, Kumilla, Brownberry and Noakhali came under the control of Allied Force, Mitra Bahini. On 10 December, Hotel Intercontinental was declared as neutral zone, and all foreigners and diplomats living in Dhaka were given shelter there. The British and the citizens of other countries were evacuated by a special flight from Dhaka on that day. Last war of the joint force. Sycophant governor of East Pakistan, Dr. Malik, resigned out of fear and took shelter at neutral zone. Hotel Intercontinental, along with his ministries. By 14 December, Pakistan force surrendered in almost all big towns and cantonments except Dhaka. The surrender of Pakistani force was imminent. To facilitate the surrender, both sides agreed to a ceasefire up to 3 p.m. on 16 December at the call of General Sam Manekshaw, the Commander-in-Chief of Joint Force. So the Indian forces that helped freedom fighters during liberation war were called Mitra Bahini. The liberation war got a momentum with the liberation formation of joint force. Air raid also conducted side by side of different important places. India recognized Bangladesh as a sovereign country on 6 December, and joint force entered Joshua the next day when Joshua airport was occupied. In the next 2 days, on 8 and 9 December, Kumilla, Brownberry and Noakhali came under the control of Allied Force Mitra Bahini. I am moving to next page. So on the 10th December, Hotel Intercontinental was declared as neutral zone, and all foreigners, diplomats living in Dhaka were given shelter there. The British and the citizens of other countries were evacuated by a special flight from Dhaka that day, and Mymensingh, Hili, Kustia, Khulna, Rangpur, Rajshahi, Dinajpur and Sirazganj were liberated between 11th and 12th December. This is very important. Underline. Last war of the joint forces conducted air raids over different military settlements at Dhaka on 12th December. So I have read this is repeated. The war of Pakistani force ended that very day, and Dhaka city was then surrounded by joint force. The surrender of Pakistani force was imminent. To facilitate the surrender, both sides agreed to a ceasefire up to 3 p.m. and 16 December at the call of General Sam Manekshaw, the Commander-in-Chief, Joint Force. So lesson 10, genocide, mass killing and tortures. The occupation Pakistani force conducted mass killing mercilessly during the entire 9 months of Liberation War. They started killing the unerhate Bengalis from the midnight of 25 March. They attacked the cantonment, EPR, Directorate, police lines, Ansar barracks, and started to kill and arrest Bengali members of very night. Kill at first sight was the policy of Pakistani force, militia leaders and workers. The minority Hindu community was then the main victim of their merciless killing. The homes, houses, shops, mahols and villages of Hindu members were looted and set on fire. Artists, literatures and intellectuals were the special target of Pakistani soldiers and their assets. They killed the intellectuals at a mass scale from the beginning till and the end of Liberation War with a view to making the country barren and devoid of merit. This is important. The Muslim League and Jamaat Islam leaders of the country formed Rajakar, Al-Badur, Al-Shams to help the Pakistani force. The leaders of these forces were Mutir Rahman Nizami, Ali Ahsan Muhammad Mujahid, Qadir Mullah and Kamruজ্জামান. So they are the prominent leaders of that time. They took position against Bangladesh Liberation War and the freedom-loving people of the country. With their assistance, Pakistani force killed millions of people in Bangladesh. Rajakar, Al-Bad, Al-Shams force were directly involved in looting, setting fire on houses and hard bazaars and torturing women. So these were the works of the Rajakars, Al-Badurs. This genocide continued in the entire country during the whole of 9 months. It was a common incident to tie hands and legs and then shoot and throw the dead bodies into the river, Dis or water. Besides, the captured persons were shot down after amputing in different parts of the body one after another. One cruel time, this is the behavior, how people are tortured. Other cruel types of tortures were to take out eyes, to break the heads into pieces by hitting, to deform the face, to take out the heart by using bayonet and sharp knives, to push needle into the fingers, to lift nail, to cut skin and then apply salt and pepper. On 3rd December 1971, when the defeat of the Pakistani force was almost certain, they made plan to make Bangladesh barren of merit. According to this plan, they mercilessly killed the greatest sons of the soil, intellectuals, teachers, journalists, doctors and musicians. The prominent persons killed from 10 to 14 December were Dr. Govinda Chandra Dev, Shahidullah Kaisar and Jyotirmoy Guha. Go to next page, please. Jyotirmoy Guha Thakurata, Dr. Fazlur Rabbi and Dr. Alim Chaudhary, journalists, Nazamuddin Shirazuddin Hussain and Ranada Prasad Shah, Nutun Chandra Singh, politician, Dhirendranath Dutta and Mushir Rahman, writer, Serena Parveen and Merun Nisa, Dr. Ansar Parvez and musicians, Altaf Mahmud and others. In their attempt to conduct this planned genocide, Pakistani forces and their collaborators set up torture chambers in this country. Among the torture chambers and mass graves, the big ones are located at Rayar Bazar at Dhaka, Pahaltu Chattogram, Khalishpur and Khulna and Shamshernagar and Molhe Bazar. Lesson 11, surrender of Pakistani forces. The Liberation War of Bangladesh came to an end on 16 December 1971. Pakistani forces accepted their tragic defeat and surrendered to join forces that day. Through this, we got our dear motherland of Bangladesh. The function of surrender was headed by Lieutenant General Jagjit Singh Arora, the commander of the joint force. Group Captain A.K. Khandekar, the deputy chief Mukti Bahini, was present there as the representative of Mujibnagar government. The racecourse ground was crowded by the people to observe the scenes of surrender. The atmosphere of Dhaka echoed with the sound of Joy Bangla. Lieutenant General Arora and Lieutenant General Niaji signed the documents of surrender at racecourse ground, sitting on a table under the open sky on the behalf of their respective sides. 93,000 Pakistani soldiers were imprisoned, very important. Thus, owing to the heroic fight of our freedom fighters, the strong desire of our people for freedom, the strong unity of all countrymen, active help of allied force, Mitra Bahini, and the support of people, all the world over the world together resulted in the successful completion of a liberation war only in 9 months. So, dear students, SW 5, submit on Saturday. SW 5, Chapter 2, Lesson 9 to 11, 10, make 10 OWA one word answer. So that's all for my dear students. Keep practicing at home, have a good parents. Stay safe, stay well, stay safe. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.